Imagine a moment in history where life seemed to burst forth with unimaginable diversity. Around 541 million years ago, during a relatively short period known as the Cambrian Explosion, the Earth witnessed an explosion of life forms unlike anything before it. This event laid the foundation for all complex life that followed, but the reasons behind this rapid evolution remain shrouded in mystery. The fossil record shows a sudden appearance of numerous groups of animals over a mere 20 million years. Before the Cambrian, most life was unicellular and simple. However, as we moved into the Cambrian period, multicellular organisms began to flourish. From the grotesque Anomalocaris to the armored trilobites, the complexity of life exploded at an unprecedented rate. But what triggered this sudden profusion of life? Several hypotheses have been proposed. One popular theory suggests that there were significant environmental changes, such as increased oxygen levels in the atmosphere and oceans, which allowed for larger and more complex organisms to thrive. The rise in oxygen, known as the Great Oxygenation Event, provided the necessary conditions for aerobic organisms to evolve, leading to larger body sizes and more complex body structures. Another fascinating hypothesis involves the role of predation. According to paleontologist Douglas Irwin, the emergence of predators during this period may have spurred rapid evolutionary changes. Organisms developed shells, spines, and other defensive features in an evolutionary arms race against increasing predation. This interplay of predator and prey dynamics could have fueled the evolutionary processes we observe in the fossil record. Yet another angle embraces genetic innovation. Scientists have discovered that the increased complexity of organisms coincided with evolutionary developments in genetic mechanisms. The advent of new regulatory genes might have facilitated the development of entirely new body plans, resulting in a myriad of forms and functions. Despite these theories, the Cambrian explosion raises even more questions. Why did it happen so quickly? Why did certain body plans persist while others disappeared? Understanding these mysteries can offer profound insights into not only our past but also into how life might evolve in the future. As we explore the depth of evolution, we find that the Cambrian explosion is but the first of many mysteries waiting to be unraveled. What lies beneath the surface of evolution's greatest enigmas? Consciousness is a strange and elusive phenomenon, one that every human experiences but struggles to understand. How did consciousness arise from mere biochemical interactions and neural networks? This question has ignited debates and inquiries among neuroscientists, psychologists, and philosophers alike. The evolutionary origins of consciousness are incredibly complex. One approach posits that consciousness developed as an adaptive advantage. Early hominids that could think critically and understand their surroundings had a better chance of survival. This ability to navigate social structures, develop tools, and communicate effectively could have led to further cognitive development. However, the spectrum of consciousness is broad. Studies indicate that some animals possess a form of consciousness. For instance, elephants exhibit behaviors that suggest self-awareness, like recognizing themselves in mirrors. Additionally, crows have demonstrated complex problem-solving abilities, indicating a level of cognitive function that challenges traditional notions of intelligence. Yet, the most intriguing aspect of consciousness lies in human exceptionalism. What sets us apart? Is it the sheer scale of our cognitive abilities, our intricate language, or our capacity to reflect on our existence? From the ancient Greeks to modern philosophers, the hard problem of consciousness has been a focal point of exploration, yet definitive answers remain elusive. One particularly compelling line of inquiry looks into the evolutionary tree. It suggests that consciousness is not a singular evolutional event but rather a gradual climb, branching out through various cognitive capabilities across species. Research in neuroscience has shown that as our ancestors developed larger brains, particularly the neocortex, they gained the mental capacity for complex thoughts and emotions. But is consciousness merely a byproduct of neural complexity, or is there more to it? As we dive deeper into the enigma of consciousness, we stumble upon the philosophical implications of artificial intelligence. Can consciousness be replicated in machines? The ongoing advances in AI raise ethical questions about the potential for machine consciousness, challenging our understanding of what it means to be alive. The quest to understand consciousness not only reshapes our view of what it means to be human, but also implicates the future trajectory of evolution. As we seek answers, we must consider, if consciousness is merely an evolutionary adaptation, what does that mean for the future of intelligent life? Our journey as humans is rich with mystery, one that intertwines with countless ancestors, each contributing to the saga of human evolution. We share a common heritage with primates like chimpanzees, but the path from our shared ancestor to modern humans is fraught with confusing twists. Around 6 million years ago, our lineage began to diverge from that of chimpanzees. Species such as Australopithecus showcased traits of bipedal locomotion, a significant leap in evolution. However, as we progressed through the ages, several perplexing species emerged, each presenting its own evolutionary puzzle. One of the most intriguing is Homo neanderthalensis, or Neanderthals. Once thought to be our primitive rivals, discovery of their advanced tools and cultural practices have painted them in a more complex light. Genetic studies reveal that they interbred with early Homo sapiens, further blurring the lines of human identity. How much of the Neanderthal legacy lies in our DNA? Approximately 1 to 2% of the genome of non-African humans comes from Neanderthals. As we unravel these relationships, we enter the realm of Homo sapiens' own evolution. The emergence of language, art, and complex societies signifies not only survival but a leap in social organization and consciousness. Yet, the timeline of human evolution is anything but straightforward. The narrative is complicated by the fact that multiple hominin species coexisted at various points in history. What drove competition and cooperation among these different groups? Could it have been climate change, shifting habitats, or the rise of new technologies? Moreover, emerging research hints at the role of gut microbiomes in human evolution. The composition of our gut bacteria may have influenced our evolution, shaping our dietary habits, metabolism, and even cognitive function. Could understanding the gut-brain connection offer insights into our evolutionary journey? Human evolution reflects a tapestry of adaptations and transformations. As we delve into this enigmatic history, we can't help but wonder, what facets of our evolutionary past remain hidden? And how do they shape who we are today? The history of Earth is punctuated by a series of cataclysmic events, mass extinctions that reshaped life as we know it. These extinction events raise profound questions. What triggers such devastating changes? And how does life bounce back from near annihilation? The most well-known extinction event, the Cretaceous-Paleogene event, occurred around 66 million years ago, famously leading to the demise of the dinosaurs. The prevailing theory attributes this mass extinction to a catastrophic asteroid impact, resulting in dramatic climate shifts. Yet, examining this event reveals even more complexities. For instance, recent studies suggest that long-term volcanic activity and changing sea levels might have exacerbated conditions leading to extinction. Mass extinctions are not merely cosmic accidents, they reflect deep ecological shifts. Understanding these dynamics can offer valuable insights into the vulnerabilities of our modern ecosystems. Examining the sixth mass extinction, primarily driven by human actions, is critical. Habitat destruction, pollution, and climate change challenge the survival of countless species today, mirroring the struggles of ancient life forms. Remarkably, recovery from extinction events often spurs bursts of evolutionary innovation. After the dinosaurs vanished, mammals flourished, leading to the rise of primates, including us. Understanding these patterns of resilience can reveal how ecosystems adapt and evolve in the face of catastrophe. Explorations into the past show that species frameworks are built on delicate balances. While evolutionary resilience exists, how can we ensure that modern species survive in the face of escalating threats? As we probe the mechanisms behind mass extinctions and their aftermath, we confront alarming prospects for our future. Are we set to repeat history or carve a new path for survival? As we gaze into the future, we find ourselves on the cusp of a new evolutionary era, one shaped by technology, environmental change, and human ingenuity. How will evolution continue to unfold in a world increasingly dominated by artificial intelligence and genetic engineering? One of the most extraordinary advancements comes in the form of CRISPR technology. This precise gene editing tool allows scientists to edit the DNA of organisms with remarkable accuracy. While it holds potential for curing genetic diseases, we must also consider the ethical implications of designer babies and gene manipulation. Simultaneously, the world faces significant environmental challenges. Climate change, habitat loss, and pollution are pressing issues that could drive new paths of evolution. Some species are evolving rapidly to adapt to changing conditions, such as urban areas. This adaptive evolution blurs the lines between natural selection and human influence, raising questions about the integrity of the evolutionary process. Moreover, as we explore the impact of technology on our own species, one can't help but ponder, will our reliance on machines alter our evolutionary trajectory? While technology can augment our capabilities, it could also lead to cognitive and physical changes over generations. As we venture into artificial intelligence, the question arises, are we creating a new form of life? AI's rapid development forces us to confront the notion of consciousness and what it means to exist. How will the interplay of natural and artificial intelligence affect future evolution? The future of evolution is not just a tale of genes and species, it encompasses ethics, technology, and the choices we make today. What legacy will we leave for future generations? As we stand at the precipice of these changes, we must ask ourselves, will we direct our own evolution, or will we relinquish that power? In the vast tapestry of evolution, genetic drift plays an understated yet crucial role. While natural selection often steals the spotlight, focusing on survival of the fittest, genetic drift quietly orchestrates changes in allele frequencies within populations over generations. But what does this mean for the story of life on Earth? Let's explore the nuances of genetic drift, starting with a simple concept. Genetic drift refers to random changes in the genetic makeup of a population. Unlike natural selection, which is driven by adaptive benefits, genetic drift is entirely stochastic, meaning it relies on chance events. As populations become isolated, perhaps through geographic barriers or environmental changes, genetic drift can lead to significant divergence. Take, for instance, the case of the famous peppered moth during the Industrial Revolution in England. Initially, most moths were light-colored, blending in with lichen on trees. But as soot from industrial pollution darkened the trees, a random mutation for darker coloration became advantageous. This wasn't solely about survival. Genetic drift also played a role because the few dark moths eventually bred among themselves due to their isolation, thus creating a new gene frequency in that area. Now, consider the founder effect. This phenomenon occurs when a small group of individuals breaks away from a larger population. The new population may lack genetic variation, leading to an increase in certain alleles merely by chance. One classic example involves the Amish community in Pennsylvania, which has a higher prevalence of certain genetic disorders due to their isolated gene pool. As we delve deeper, we uncover the implications of genetic drift. While some view it as just randomness, it can have profound evolutionary consequences. It can lead to speciation, where a new species evolves from an existing one due to significant genetic divergence. Many island species have undergone this process, like the Galapagos finches, which have evolved distinct traits based on their unique ecological niches. Furthermore, genetic drift highlights the fragility of small populations. In conservation biology, understanding the impacts of genetic drift is vital. Small groups are more susceptible to losing genetic diversity, which in turn affects their adaptability to changing environments. In conclusion, genetic drift is a quiet yet relentless force shaping evolution. The randomness of this process can lead to extraordinary diversity. As we reflect on this hidden hand of evolution, we must recognize its power and acknowledge that sometimes, it's not just about who is the fittest, but rather who survives chance. And as we ponder the next mystery, let's consider something that has bewildered scientists for ages: the origin of life itself. How did the first living organisms emerge from non-living matter? This question leads us to our next chapter. The origin of life is one of the most profound mysteries in science, drawing researchers from various fields to answer a question that stirs the imagination: how did life arise from the inanimate? To embark on this quest, we must explore the complex chemistry that underpins biological existence. The prevailing theory, called abiogenesis, posits that life began from simple organic compounds that gradually formed more complex molecules. In the early Earth's conditions, rich in carbon, ammonia, and methane, lightning strikes and volcanic activity could have created amino acids and other building blocks of life in a primordial soup. This concept gained traction through experiments like the famous Miller-Urey experiment in 1953, where researchers simulated early Earth conditions and produced amino acids from non-living chemicals. However, the leap from organic molecules to living cells is still elusive. One hypothesis is the emergence of protocells, primitive structures that possess some characteristics of living cells. These protocells could have formed in lipid-rich environments, with fatty acids spontaneously arranging themselves into cell-like structures. These vesicles could encapsulate organic molecules, creating a microenvironment for chemical reactions. Yet, life as we know it requires not just DNA or RNA but also a method for information transfer and replication. This raises the question of whether RNA was the first molecule of life, functioning both as a genetic material and a catalyst for biochemical reactions. Known as the RNA world hypothesis, it suggests that self-replicating RNA molecules emerged, eventually leading to the evolution of DNA and proteins. But can we trace back the steps that led to the first replication? Some researchers have looked to extremophiles, organisms thriving in extreme environments, as potential models for our early ancestors. These life forms, found near hydrothermal vents, exhibit resilience that could reflect the conditions on early Earth. As we study extremophiles, we uncover clues about how life can withstand adversity, suggesting that the first living things may have similarly thrived in harsh surroundings. What's fascinating is the role of panspermia, a theory proposing that life may not have originated on Earth at all, but arrived here via comets or meteorites. If this idea holds weight, it implies that life might be more common in the universe than we currently believe. Some studies have found organic compounds in meteorites, hinting at life's building blocks being widespread throughout the cosmos. As we face the question of the origin of life, we approach the limits of our understanding. The search continues in laboratories and through astronomical observation. The goal is not only to uncover our biological roots but also to understand one of the fundamental questions of existence: why are we here? And with this profound mystery on our minds, we transition to something equally enigmatic: consciousness. How did this emergent phenomenon arise, and what implications does it carry for our understanding of evolution? Let's dive deeper into this intricate web. Consciousness, an extraordinary feature of the human experience, grips and fascinates us. But what is it, and how did it arise through the process of evolution? To address this question, we must first define consciousness. It encompasses awareness, feelings, thoughts, and self-reflection. Yet, the complexity of consciousness poses challenges in studying its origins. Many scientists believe that consciousness stems from neurological processes. As our ancestors evolved, particularly with the expansion of the neocortex, cognitive abilities advanced. The neocortex plays a key role in higher-order functions like problem-solving and decision-making. But while we can map these brain regions, the qualitative experience of consciousness, what it feels like to be you, is still elusive. From a biological standpoint, consciousness could confer evolutionary advantages. Enhanced awareness of the environment allows for better survival strategies, promoting social cooperation and communication among individuals. Take wolves, for instance. Their social structures and coordinated hunting strategies indicate some level of collective consciousness that likely enhanced their survival as a species. Moreover, consider the emergence of language, which fundamentally transformed human consciousness. Linguistic capabilities offer individuals not only means of communication but also tools for abstract thinking. Through language, humans can share experiences, express emotions, and pass down knowledge, elements crucial in shaping societal evolution. Yet, the question arises, are humans the only conscious beings? Several studies suggest that other animals, such as dolphins, elephants, and certain primates, exhibit signs of self-awareness. These observations reveal a spectrum of consciousness across species, hinting at the evolutionary continuity of cognitive development. This brings us to the philosophical implications of consciousness. What does it mean to be conscious? Are we mere products of evolution, or is there something more? These questions have spurred countless debates, yet many converge on one insight: consciousness allows for rich, complex lives filled with subjective experiences. As we delve into consciousness, we uncover more than just biological mechanisms, we touch on the very essence of existence. Understanding consciousness doesn't merely reveal the workings of the mind, it unlocks the doors to deeper inquiries about what it means to be human. The adventure of understanding ourselves leads us into yet another mystery interwoven with evolution. Next, we confront the complexities of societal evolution. How have human societies developed over time, and what can these patterns teach us about our future? Human societies have evolved through intricate interactions of culture, environment, and biology. The journey from small tribes to complex nations is marked by pivotal shifts that reveal insights into our shared humanity. To grasp these transformations, we must explore key stages in societal evolution and their connections to our evolutionary past. Starting with hunter-gatherer societies, early humans lived in small, nomadic groups, relying on cooperation for survival. Evidence shows that social bonds were crucial, fostering shared responsibilities and resource distribution. This communal lifestyle likely laid the groundwork for social norms and cultural development. As agriculture emerged, societies transitioned to settled life. The Neolithic Revolution, around 10,000 years ago, marked a turning point. Farming led to food surpluses, enabling population growth and the formation of villages and towns. This shift altered social structures, resulting in hierarchy and the division of labor. The ability to produce more food than needed meant some could specialize in crafts, trade, and governance. This specialization paved the way for more complex social systems. However, with the rise of civilizations came challenges, including conflict and inequality. As societies expanded, competition for resources intensified, leading to wars and power struggles. The rise and fall of empires serve as vivid reminders of the cyclical nature of progress and decline. The Roman Empire, for instance, illustrates how socio-cultural dynamics shaped power structures and eventually led to its downfall. Yet, amid challenges, resilience thrives. innovations in technology and governance have shaped societies. The printing press, for example, revolutionized the spread of knowledge and ideas, influencing everything from religion to science. These changes prompted shifts in public consciousness, culminating in movements like the Renaissance and the Enlightenment, eras that reshaped human thought. Today, the lessons of our past hold even greater significance. As we face global challenges, climate change, inequality, and the rapid pace of technological advancement, we must examine how societies adapt and innovate. Our evolutionary history teaches us that cooperation, communication, and adaptability are vital for survival. Understanding this interplay between evolution and societal development can guide our efforts to create a sustainable future. As we consider the evolution of societies, we can't help but reflect on the next pivotal mystery, the future of human evolution in an era marked by technology. What will our species look like in the coming centuries? Let's unravel this enigmatic future together. As we stand at the precipice of a new era defined by technology, we are left to ponder a profound question: what lies ahead for human evolution? The rapid advancements in genetics, artificial intelligence, and biotechnology are reshaping our understanding of what it means to be human. Consider CRISPR technology, a powerful tool for editing genes, which holds the potential to eliminate genetic disorders. With this technology, we might even engineer traits for future generations. This prompts an ethical debate: should we intervene in our evolutionary path? As we gain the ability to alter our DNA, we must weigh the implications of designer babies and their effects on biodiversity. Moreover, artificial intelligence is transforming how we interact with the world. From healthcare to education, AI is augmenting our capabilities. But as machines become more integrated, we face questions about our own evolving identity. Are we enhancing humanity or risking its essence? The merger of biology and technology raises philosophical dilemmas about consciousness and free will. Additionally, emerging technologies like virtual reality and brain-computer interfaces might redefine human experiences. Imagine a world where memories can be shared or emotions can be enhanced. The possibilities are exhilarating yet unsettling. Could we be on the brink of an evolved consciousness that transcends biological constraints? Furthermore, environmental changes challenge our species in ways we've never encountered before. Climate change poses a direct threat to our survival. As we adapt, our biology may change in response to new pressures. Some scientists propose that future humans will evolve physically due to these environmental challenges. For example, we could see changes in skin pigmentation, respiratory systems, or even body sizes based on geographical shifts. The future of evolution doesn't solely rest in genetics, it intertwines with our ethical decisions. As stewards of the planet, we hold the key to determining our fate. The choices we make today will ripple through generations to come. By embracing a future of cooperation, sustainability, and ethical implications of technology, we can forge a path that honors our evolutionary heritage while considering the potential of what we could become. In reflection, the journey through the greatest mysteries of evolution has illuminated not just our past but also the potential for our future. As we marvel at the wonders of life, let us remain curious explorers of the unknown, continuously striving to understand our place in this vast universe. The story of evolution is far from over, it is a profound tale woven into the fabric of existence, urging us to ponder, learn, and evolve. When you look up at the stars or gaze into the depths of the ocean, you might wonder about the forces that shaped life on Earth. What are the greatest mysteries of evolution that scientists are still trying to unravel? Take a moment to think about the spectacular diversity of life we see today. From the tiniest bacteria to the colossal blue whale, how did this intricate tapestry of existence come to be? This chapter takes us on a journey through the most perplexing evolutionary questions that have puzzled experts for generations. One of the biggest mysteries is the Cambrian Explosion, a rapid diversification of life that left fossils of organisms we cannot fully understand. It occurred approximately 541 million years ago, marking a significant moment in our planet's history. Some theories suggest that environmental changes or even the introduction of new predator-prey dynamics could have triggered this explosion of life. Yet, the exact mechanisms remain elusive. Another fascinating mystery surrounds the evolution of consciousness itself. How did self-awareness arise in a world governed by survival? Recent research hints that consciousness may not be as unique to humans as we once thought. For instance, some studies show that certain animals, like dolphins and elephants, exhibit behaviors that suggest a form of awareness. But what does this mean for our understanding of ourselves and our place in the evolutionary tree? And let's not forget about extinction events, which have drastically reshaped life on Earth. The Permian-Triassic extinction, often called the Great Dying, wiped out an estimated 95% of species. The causes are still debated. Was it climate change, volcanic activity, or perhaps an asteroid impact? Each extinction brings both loss and opportunity, paving the way for new evolutionary paths. As we ponder these mysteries, we also look toward the future of evolution. With advances in technology, we are reaching a point where we can manipulate genetic material. What does this mean for the evolutionary trajectory of humanity? Are we on the verge of a new evolutionary leap, or are we tampering with nature in ways we cannot comprehend? These questions compel us to dig deeper into the unknown, navigating the intricate and often paradoxical journey of life itself. Imagine a world where survival doesn't only depend on competition, but on cooperation. This is the essence of symbiosis, one of the most remarkable yet underappreciated forces in evolution. Through symbiosis, distinct species form alliances that enhance their chances of survival. Consider the relationship between oxpeckers and large mammals like rhinos and buffalo. These small birds feed on ticks and parasites found on the skin of these giants while the mammals gain relief from these irritants. This mutual benefit showcases a crucial aspect of evolution: interdependence. Research indicates that up to 90% of all species on Earth engage in symbiotic relationships. A classic example is the relationship between fungi and plants, often referred to as mycorrhizae. Fungi assist plants in nutrient absorption, while plants provide fungi with sugars produced through photosynthesis. This alliance has been pivotal in the colonization of land by plants, fundamentally transforming ecosystems. But not all symbiotic relationships are benign. Parasitism, a form of symbiosis, involves one organism benefiting at the expense of another. Take the daughter plant, which relies on host plants for sustenance, ultimately harming them. These intricate dynamics in nature exemplify a complex web of relationships that challenge the notion of survival of the fittest. The emergence of symbiotic relationships has also driven evolutionary innovations. For example, many flowering plants have evolved specific traits to attract certain pollinators, demonstrating the coevolution of species. This ongoing dance between cooperation and competition enriches the narrative of life's evolution. As we explore the implications of this hidden alliance, we realize that the story of evolution is not merely a tale of individuals competing but rather a collective journey where connections shape destinies. Why do human embryos resemble fish at one stage of development? This perplexing question brings us to the heart of evolutionary development and the mysteries it holds. The field of evolutionary developmental biology, often called Evo-Devo, examines the relationship between the development of an organism and its evolutionary history. At first glance, it appears curious that embryos of various species exhibit similarities, echoing their common ancestry. For example, human, chicken, and fish embryos share common structural features during early stages, including gill slits. This phenomenon raises significant questions about our evolutionary lineage. How can such diverse organisms share similar embryonic traits? This shared pathway hints at a long evolutionary journey through which complex forms emerged from simpler ancestors. As these embryos develop, they undergo a series of transformations, often revealing their evolutionary history. One groundbreaking finding in Evo is the role of genetic switches, known as regulatory genes. These genes can turn other genes on and off, leading to the remarkable diversity of forms observed in nature. By experimenting with these genetic switches in fruit flies, researchers have uncovered insights into how changes in development can lead to evolutionary changes. Take, for instance, the evolution of the vertebrate limb. The genes responsible for limb formation are similar across various species, but small changes in these genes can produce significant differences, such as the evolution of wings in birds versus the flippers of whales. This intricate interplay between genetics and development reveals that evolution is not just a linear progression but a complex tapestry of changes influenced by numerous factors. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of Evo, we uncover a more profound understanding of life's origins. The question arises, how does understanding our embryonic development impact our perception of evolution? Through this lens, we see ourselves as part of a broader narrative, intricately connected to all life forms. Each discovery in the field of evolutionary developmental biology enriches our understanding of the bonds that unite diverse organisms across our planet. As we journey through the course of evolution, it's easy to think of the process as a competitive affair, a battle for survival where only the fittest thrive. But there exists a quieter, more profound aspect of evolution that has shaped life on Earth just as significantly: symbiosis. Symbiosis is a biological phenomenon where different species form mutually beneficial partnerships. This intricate web of relationships has played a paramount role in shaping biodiversity, from the tiniest bacteria to towering trees. One of the most iconic examples of symbiosis is found in coral reefs, often referred to as the rainforests of the sea. Corals are fascinating organisms. They are actually colonies of tiny animals called polyps that engage in a mutualistic relationship with single-celled algae known as zooxanthellae. These algae live inside the coral tissues and perform photosynthesis, providing energy-rich compounds that the corals use to grow. In return, corals offer the algae protection and access to sunlight. This symbiotic relationship is not just beneficial but critical. Coral reefs are home to approximately 25% of all marine species, despite covering just 0.1% of the ocean floor. However, climate change and pollution are wreaking havoc on these ecosystems, leading to coral bleaching and the collapse of these intricate partnerships. Similarly, consider the fascinating world of mycorrhizae, a symbiotic association between fungi and the roots of most plants on Earth. The fungi invade plant roots, extending their hyphae into the soil, dramatically increasing the surface area for water and nutrient absorption. In return, the plant supplies the fungi with carbohydrates produced during photosynthesis, creating a crucial alliance that supports nearly 90% of all terrestrial plants. This symbiotic network is so profound that it even aids in environmental communication among plants, helping them respond to threats like pests or diseases. Insects, too, exemplify the power of symbiosis. A striking example is the relationship between leafcutter ants and a specific fungus. The ants cultivate this fungus within their colonies, feeding it freshly cut plant material. The fungus, in turn, serves as the primary food source for the ants. This partnership is so advanced that the ants cannot survive without their cultivated fungus, highlighting the interdependence that can evolve through symbiosis. Moreover, symbiosis extends beyond just animals and plants. It plays a vital role even in human evolution. Our gut microbiome, a complex community of bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms, has a profound impact on our health and evolution. Although we may consider ourselves singular beings, our bodies host trillions of microbial cells that outnumber our human cells. These microbes help us digest food, synthesize vitamins, and even regulate our immune systems. The intricacies of our relationship with these microbes are being studied to understand everything from obesity to mental health, demonstrating the significance of symbiosis in human evolution. In conclusion, as we delve deeper into the mysteries of evolution, it's clear that symbiosis is not just about coexistence, it's about collaborative survival, an alliance that has helped shape the diversity of life on Earth. Understanding these hidden alliances not only sheds light on how species have evolved but informs our approach to conservation and maintaining the delicate balance of ecosystems. Each partnership is a thread in the tapestry of life, revealing the astonishing complexity of our planet's evolutionary narratives. As we move forward, the question arises, how will these alliances adapt in the face of rapid environmental change? What new symbiotic relationships might emerge as species struggle to survive? The answers remain shrouded in the mysteries of evolution, waiting to be uncovered as we continue our exploration of this extraordinary world. The journey of life begins not in the complex ecosystems we see today, but in the quiet, transformative moments of embryonic development. From a single fertilized egg, a multicellular organism begins to take shape, a process that remains one of the greatest mysteries of evolution. The study of evolutionary development, or EvoDevo, seeks to understand how changes in the development processes of organisms lead to the vast diversity of life we see around us. A fascinating case study is seen in the evolution of vertebrates, which can be traced back to a common ancestor. The early embryonic stages of fish, birds, and mammals reveal remarkable similarities, despite the vast differences we observe in their adult forms. This phenomenon is known as developmental conservation, where certain developmental pathways are retained throughout evolution. For instance, during the early stages, the embryos of all vertebrates exhibit pharyngeal arches, which in humans and other mammals develop into parts of the ear and throat. This shared embryonic structure poses questions about the relationship between form and function in evolution. How does evolution select for specific traits during the developmental stages? Researchers have identified genetic switches known as enhancers that regulate the expression of genes during various stages of development. For example, a study on the evolution of beaks in Darwin's finches revealed that a specific enhancer region controlled the growth of beak size and shape. Moreover, the phenomenon of heterochrony, which refers to changes in the timing of developmental events, is critical to understanding evolutionary change. For example, the axolotl, a unique salamander species, retains its juvenile gills throughout its adult life. This neotenic trait allows the axolotl to live in aquatic environments while retaining features of its larval stage. This highlights how shifts in developmental timing can give rise to entirely new species and adaptations. Insects also showcase the wonders of evolutionary development through metamorphosis. Consider the stunning transformation of a butterfly, which undergoes distinct stages: egg, larva, pupa, and adult. The change from caterpillar to butterfly involves a profound reorganization of tissues, a process controlled by a cascade of hormones and genes. The rapid shifts in morphology during metamorphosis raise questions about the evolutionary pressures that led to this remarkable strategy for survival. Another area of intrigue within EvoDevo is the role of proximate and ultimate causation in evolutionary change. Proximate causation examines the immediate genetic, developmental, and physiological processes that lead to a particular trait, while ultimate causation explores why that trait may confer a survival advantage in an evolutionary context. This dual approach allows scientists to piece together not just how traits evolve, but why they persist throughout generations. The study of evolutionary development has broad implications not just for biology but for understanding human evolution and health. Research into developmental pathways can shed light on congenital disorders and evolutionary mismatches, where certain traits that may have been advantageous in the past become maladaptive in modern contexts. As we delve into the mysteries of evolutionary development, one question emerges: how does understanding these processes deepen our comprehension of life's complexity? The very fabric of life is woven from a tapestry of events that began with a single cell, evolving through time to produce millions of species. Each developmental pathway offers a glimpse into the incredible roadmap of evolution, revealing the hidden connections that tie all living things together. In conclusion, the study of evolutionary development not only unravels the intricacies of how life emerges but also serves as a reminder of the delicate balance of evolution. As we continue to explore the chapters of life's history, the interplay between development and evolution will remain a critical focal point, waiting for the next generation of scientists to unlock its secrets. Throughout Earth's history, life has been shaped not just by genetic variation and natural selection, but also by dramatic environmental changes. These changes can drive the evolutionary adaptations that allow species to survive and thrive amid shifting conditions. From climate shifts to geological events, the story of evolution is intertwined with the ever-changing planet we inhabit. One of the most significant events in Earth's evolutionary history is the Permian-Triassic extinction event, approximately 252 million years ago. This cataclysmic event, often termed the Great Dying, wiped out an estimated 96% of marine species and 70% of terrestrial vertebrate species. The aftermath of this extinction paved the way for the rise of the dinosaurs in the Mesozoic era, showcasing how dramatic environmental transformations can lead to the emergence of new life forms. Similarly, the Ice Ages profoundly impacted the evolution of mammal species. During the last glacial maximum, which occurred around 20,000 years ago, much of the Earth's surface was covered in ice, drastically altering habitats and ecosystems. Species such as the woolly mammoth adapted to these frigid environments, developing thick fur and layers of fat for insulation. Their survival strategies illuminate the adaptive responses of organisms to extreme environmental changes, revealing the tight link between climate and evolution. Moreover, the evolution of the peppered moth serves as a contemporary example of adaptation in response to environmental change. Prior to the Industrial Revolution in England, most peppered moths were light-colored, blending seamlessly with the lichen-covered bark of trees. However, as industrial pollution darkened the tree bark, the darker variants of the moth became more prevalent, showcasing natural selection in real time. This phenomenon not only affirms Darwinian principles but also highlights the rapid adaptability of species when faced with changing environments. The role of habitat fragmentation due to human activities also warrants consideration in the context of evolutionary adaptations. As human populations expand, natural habitats are disrupted, leading to isolated populations and reduced genetic diversity. The studies on urban wildlife, such as the adaptability of raccoons in city environments, demonstrate how some species can thrive under human-induced changes. Furthermore, the concept of ecological niches highlights how competition for resources drives evolutionary change. When a new species enters an ecosystem, it can exploit unused resources, leading to new adaptive traits in response to competition. A powerful illustration can be seen in Darwin's finches on the Galapagos Islands, where variations in beak shape and size correspond to the types of food available on different islands. This illustrates the profound effect of resource availability on evolutionary pressures and adaptations. As we analyze the intricate links between environmental changes and evolutionary adaptations, we must also consider the future challenges posed by climate change. How will contemporary species adapt to the rapid environmental changes driven by human activity? Investigating these questions may offer insights into the resilience of life and its capacity to adapt, ultimately shaping the future narratives of evolution. In conclusion, the interplay between environmental changes and evolutionary adaptations is a testament to the resilience of life on Earth. Each shift in climate or habitat invites a wave of evolutionary responses, illuminating the ongoing saga of survival. As we continue to uncover these chapters of evolution, the complexities of adaptation remind us of the intricate relationship between life and the living Earth. When we talk about evolution, one of the most compelling aspects is how closely it is tied to environmental changes. The Earth is a dynamic planet, constantly shifting due to geological activity, climate shifts, and cosmic events. Consider the end of the last ice age approximately 11,700 years ago. This period marked a significant turning point for many species. As glaciers receded, new habitats emerged, and with them, new evolutionary opportunities. For example, the woolly mammoth, a giant of the Ice Age, faced a catastrophic extinction not merely due to human hunting but because their environment transformed rapidly. As the tundra turned into grasslands, the mammoths found themselves without the heavy foliage they relied upon. Caught in this changing landscape, many large herbivores could not adapt quickly enough, leading to their demise. Environmental catastrophes often trigger evolutionary adaptations in unexpected ways. The KT extinction event, around 66 million years ago, is a testament to this theory. When a meteor struck the Earth, it caused a mass extinction that wiped out the dinosaurs but also paved the way for mammals to dominate. The survivors adapted to new ecological niches that emerged from the ashes. Take, for instance, the ancestors of modern-day birds. After the asteroid impact, a handful of small, feathered dinosaurs evolved rapidly. Within just a few million years, these birds diversified into thousands of species, filling the gaps left in the food chain. It's a perfect illustration of how drastically environmental changes can sculpt the trajectory of evolution. But it's not just about catastrophic events. Gradual changes can also lead to fascinating adaptations. The Galapagos finches, made famous by Charles Darwin, provide an excellent case study. These birds evolved different beak shapes to exploit various food sources on the islands. When a drought hit, the finches with larger beaks thrived because they could crack open tougher seeds that smaller-beaked birds couldn't manage. As climates shift today due to human activity, we witness rapid evolutionary changes. For example, some species of fish are adapting faster than expected to warmer waters. Studies show that fish are altering their breeding times and the depth they inhabit, all in response to rising temperatures. These adaptations may ensure survival, but they also challenge the assumptions we have about the pace of evolution. Additionally, invasive species often arrive in ecosystems due to human influence, forcing native species to adapt or face extinction. The introduction of the brown tree snake to Guam caused a sharp decline in native bird populations. As these birds disappear, remaining species may evolve critical changes to survive in a predator-heavy environment. Climate change poses another vast challenge. The Arctic fox has been showing changes in its fur color due to the warming climate, which affects its ability to camouflage and hunt. We see this adaptation leading to vulnerabilities in their chances of survival. In summary, environmental changes are a driving force behind evolution. Every shift, whether gradual or catastrophic, sparks a cascade of adaptations and extinctions that define the evolutionary trail. As we continue to witness our planet's environments evolve, it raises an intriguing question: what will the future of evolution look like in times of rapid change? Stay tuned as we explore the fascinating interplay between environments and the evolutionary road ahead. In our quest to understand evolution, we often look back at how nature has crafted life over millions of years. But now, we find ourselves on the cusp of a radical change, as humans take the reins of evolution itself through genetic engineering. Welcome to the age of CRISPR, where the power to edit genes is no longer confined to the lab bench but is being applied to agriculture, medicine, and even human genetics. The implications of genetic engineering extend far beyond the capabilities of traditional breeding methods. For instance, Imagine crops that can withstand drought or resist pests without the need for harmful pesticides. Genetic modifications have already resulted in the creation of Roundup-ready crops that can tolerate herbicides, ensuring higher yields and food security. However, this transformation comes with questions about how such changes affect the broader ecosystem. Let's consider the engineered pink pineapple. By utilizing gene editing, scientists have developed a pineapple variety rich in lycopene, a cancer-fighting antioxidant. While health benefits are apparent, what does this mean for the original species? Is the introduction of genetic modifications leading us closer to a new species of pineapple? The boundaries of evolution blur as we constantly intervene. Furthermore, the potential for human genetic modification raises ethical and scientific concerns. The tragic story of the He Jiankui twins, two girls whose genomes were modified to resist HIV, ignited a firestorm of ethical debate. Many scientists condemned the experiment, arguing that it could lead to unforeseen consequences. The questions beg, is it ethical to play God? What responsibilities do we have to future generations? The potential for genetic engineering also extends into areas like disease eradication. Imagine eliminating genetic diseases such as cystic fibrosis or sickle cell anemia through targeted gene therapy. Researchers are working on gene drives that ensure genetically modified traits are passed down through generations. But could these interventions inadvertently trigger new health crises? The case of the gene-edited mosquitoes intended to combat dengue fever illustrates both the promise and the peril. While designed to reduce mosquito populations, their release sparked fears of unintended ecological consequences. As genetic engineering progresses, the concept of evolutionary pressure becomes increasingly significant. By introducing engineered organisms into the wild, we may accelerate natural selection in unpredictable ways. For instance, if a genetically modified species outcompetes native species, it could lead to their extinction, an evolutionary consequence we might not fully understand. The discussion points toward a future where humans are not only observers of evolution but active participants. There is a potential to create designer organisms, tailored for specific purposes. Yet, as we tread this uncertain ground, we must remember that evolution has taken millions of years to sculpt life as we know it. Are we prepared for the complexity of generating a new evolutionary pathway? In conclusion, as we embrace the art of genetic editing, we stand on the threshold of a new era of evolution. The ability to manipulate life may present extraordinary opportunities, but it also brings ethical dilemmas and unforeseen complications. Our relationship with evolution is changing forever. Will we use this power responsibly to guide evolution toward a flourishing future, or will we inadvertently create an ecological nightmare? As we ponder these questions, the journey of exploration continues. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of evolution, one aspect stands out with profound implications: the coevolution of humans and technology. We often think of evolution in terms of biological changes over time, but what if I told you that our tools and technologies are also evolving, and in turn, shaping who we are? From the creation of the wheel to the rise of artificial intelligence, technology has influenced human evolution significantly. Take, for example, the invention of agriculture around 10,000 years ago. This revolutionary change allowed humans to settle in one place, leading to the formation of villages, towns, and eventually civilizations. As people began to cultivate land, their diets changed, which in turn affected their health and physical characteristics. This shift from a hunter-gatherer lifestyle to an agrarian one fundamentally altered human evolution. Fast forward to the Industrial Revolution, a period that radically transformed human life through technology. Innovations in transportation, manufacturing, and communication broke down barriers, enabling people to connect and share knowledge like never before. This new interconnectedness led to unprecedented population growth and urbanization. Interestingly, researchers have noticed changes in human anatomy, such as shorter jawlines and altered teeth structure, linked directly to softer diets resulting from industrialized food production. Today, we find ourselves on the brink of another significant transformation due to digital technology. The rise of the internet, smartphones, and artificial intelligence is creating a new paradigm of existence, one that affects how we think, socialize, and communicate. Our brains are adapting. Some studies show increased neuroplasticity due to digital interactions. We are literally evolving in response to the technology we create. Consider how digital platforms have transformed our relationships and networks. Social media, for instance, has not only expanded our connections but also modified our social behaviors. The need for instant feedback and validation is changing our communication styles and cognitive processes. Yet, this relationship is not without its challenges. As we integrate technology deeper into our lives, we must ask ourselves, are we controlling technology, or is technology controlling us? The psychological impacts of technology addiction, decreased attention spans, and social isolation present real dangers. Just as ancient technologies shaped our ancestors, the digital age is molding our very nature. It leads to the question, as we rely more on artificial intelligence, could we risk the atrophy of our cognitive abilities? Moreover, the concept of biohacking, where individuals use technology to enhance their biological functions, raises intriguing questions about the boundaries of human evolution. Some people are already adopting wearable devices that track their health metrics or even implanting chips for various functionalities. As technology advances, what becomes of our humanity? As we reflect on the future of human evolution, the symbiotic relationship between ourselves and our technology is one that continues to grow. We must consider the ethical implications of where this path may lead. As technology evolves, so too does the risk of exacerbating social inequalities, leading to a divide between those who can and cannot afford enhancements. In conclusion, the coevolution of humans and technology presents us with questions that are as profound as they are pressing. Are we on the brink of a new stage of human evolution, one that intertwines our biology with technology in an unprecedented manner? As we continue to push the limits of what it means to be human, we must navigate these waters with care, ensuring that our creations enhance rather than overshadow our humanity. Nature is a powerful architect, shaping the lives of organisms through its relentless forces. One of the most significant drivers of evolution is environmental change. From the rise and fall of sea levels to drastic climate shifts, these changes have molded life on Earth. Take, for example, the Ice Ages. During these periods, species were forced to adapt or face extinction. Iconic animals like the woolly mammoth and saber-toothed cat roamed the Earth, showcasing the incredible adaptability of life. But it wasn't just the megafauna that underwent evolution, flora and fauna adapted in unison. Many plants developed deeper root systems, while animals evolved thicker coats to endure the cold. This constant battle for survival highlights an essential aspect of evolution: resilience. The relentless cycle of environmental change also includes human influence. As we transform our planet, we become the architects of our own evolutionary destiny. This chapter will delve deeper into how both natural and anthropogenic forces have reshaped life on Earth. We will explore the fascinating case of the peppered moth, whose evolution is a textbook example of natural selection at work. As industrial pollution darkened tree barks during the 19th century, the predominantly light-colored moths faced a grim reality. Those that adapted by becoming darker thrived, highlighting the shifting dynamics brought by environmental factors. Evolution, indeed, is a response to circumstance. We will also examine how urban areas create microenvironments that lead to rapid evolutionary changes in species like urban foxes and pigeons. These adaptations serve as a reminder that evolution is not a distant past, it's happening all around us today. As we conclude this chapter, consider this: can humans adapt quickly enough to the unprecedented pace of climate change? Are we ready for the challenges ahead? We stand at the precipice of a new era, where the tools of genetic engineering alter the course of evolution itself. With techniques like CRISPR, we can edit the very fabric of life, presenting both miraculous potential and ethical dilemmas. This chapter explores how these innovations could be the next phase of human evolution.